Hi, my name is Carlie Trosclair, and this is my studio. My project for Great Rivers Biennial is titled Exfoliation, and it'll be made up of two large-scale installations. This is an 8-foot model condensed of what's going to happen across 150 feet of the wall. So it'll start with the contemporary white, the clean wall, and then as the break starts to travel across the wall, it'll start to expose interior layers of the architecture. And as it progresses, it creates kind of this timeline of excavation, so this excavation process of tearing down more and more of the wall until the end will end up being more of a skeletal kind of remnant of what the wall started from. The idea behind the project is over time these spaces start to build up just through their development of construction, whether it's initial development or over time when families add additions or they cover up walls, or even more decorative elements covering over layers and layers of what I call architectural skins. It's building up these architectural skins. So what happens in the deterioration process is that all of these layers that were added before that you weren't able to see are then revealed and are exposed together. So the 2x4s have been salvaged from spaces, specifically domestic spaces within the city that are either being demolished, so off of demo sites, or that are just naturally kind of falling down, deteriorating. The pieces of wood kind of have a history of their own because they're all coming out of different kind of time periods, and those time periods are indicated by like the lathe marks, or some of them have square nails in them. So the wallpaper that I'm using is coming from a local source, basically been in business for the last few decades. They've turned the store more into a mom and pop hardware store because the market for wallpaper no longer exists. For the past few years, I've been doing site-sensitive work within abandoned spaces, so really intricate cutouts within the wallpaper or the layers of plaster. And this opportunity to exhibit, it pushed me to think about how using that trajectory of decomposition and kind of build up and layer time within a more modern, minimal structure. So this piece is the second installation that will be for CAM. Basically, this is old vinyl wallpaper that I got from a restore in New Orleans. They were rehabbing an old hotel and kind of had all this back stock of the wallpaper that they had used. And so this piece will be made up of these sections of the vinyl and start at the 25-foot ceiling height in the contemporary, and then slowly kind of trace down the wall. So the edges will start to unfurl, the material will start to kind of feel like it's coming undone or crumbling down. And then additionally, I've done some cutout work within the pattern to start to create these clusters of kind of textured pattern. So it starts to create a new composition and topography like across the pattern. So within the pattern, there's a new pattern that's starting to evolve. So really thinking about the poetics of decay and the nuances that are happening within the breakdown of the materials, both structural materials and decorative materials. Once wallpaper is no longer functioning the way that we initially intended for it to, you start to realize kind of the new ways that it can function, the new ways that it does bend and fold. So this kind of represents and is inspired by that idea of giving the wallpaper kind of this new texture through its undoing.